So in this tutorial, I want to show you how to get started in the terminal. So to start that off, let's open up a few things. So the first thing we're going to do is open, of course, a terminal. And to do that, what we're going to want to do is hit Command Space to open up Spotlight. You can do that, or you can come up here and hit this little search icon in the toolbar, and it'll pop up Spotlight Search. And this is basically just a way you can search through a bunch of things on your computer, mainly apps. So you can search Terminal, which is just an app, and once you see it pop up, you can hit Enter. And it should pop up this little terminal window. So to explain what this is, I first have to explain a little bit of history about computing. And the history of this little application called the terminal goes way back to the beginning when they first started making computers. And at the beginning, they didn't have a lot of extra power and a lot of space to do things like we see now with all these, this nice desktop and all these graphical things that are shown on the computer. All they had space and power for was something like this, which is just black text on a white background, and it conveys just enough information to let you know what's going on with the computer in the most simple, straightforward way. So basically what the computer would look like is this. It would just be a screen with what's called prompt on it, and this little % is the prompt for this computer. And then this information, this is my name, I'm Ethan, Ethan Holland, so that's my username for this computer. And then it's telling me it's at, and then Fangorn, which is what I named the main hard drive on this computer. What this is basically saying is the user, Ethan Holland, is at the computer, Fangorn. And then this little symbol we'll get to later. And then this is just the prompt symbol to let you know that you can start writing here. So what the prompt is saying to us is that this computer is ready to be told what to do. And we're going to tell it what to do in the form of commands. And these commands can take a lot of different shapes and forms and different words. And they can do a lot of things on your computer. So we're going to start off with two commands that I'll explain in just a second, but I just want you to type them in. So the first one is CD, and then you're going to hit Enter. And what the prompt will do is take that command and do what you told it to do, and then another little prompt comes up below it. And what that's saying is, I'm done with the task you told me to do, I'm done running that command, and now I'm ready for the next one. So you can begin typing whenever you want. It's your computer saying, I'm ready to do what you need me to do. So we're going to give it another command. And this one's going to be a little bit more exciting. It is open and then a period. And so the lowercase and uppercase is really important on these commands. They have to be very specific because the computer only does exactly what you tell it to do. The computer is really dumb. It's really powerful, but it's really dumb. And it only does the exact thing you tell it to do. So if you said capital O open, it wouldn't know what you meant. It would just do something else, something weird. It could do nothing, or it could do a completely different command. I'm not actually sure what that does, but what we'll do is just give it the normal command, and we'll say open period. And what it should do is bring up this little Finder window. And if you've been in the Finder before on your Mac, you'll know this is where all the files are stored, and you can manage them and change them and move them around. So my Finder might look a little different than your Finder. I know I've changed some settings around, so it might look a bit different. But don't worry about that. As long as it opened up a Finder window, that was what it was supposed to do. So now I'm going to open up another app. called drafts, and you don't need to open this. It's just so I can write some stuff down to tell you. So we'll pull this down just a little bit, and then drafts should pop up. All right, so I'm just going to be writing some text here. So let's go through those commands. The first command was cd, and case is important, so we won't let autocorrect do what it wants on that. And what cd stands for, many of the commands stand for longer words, but they're just shortened, so they don't take as long to type. cd stands for change directory. So the word directory, what the heck does that, what is a directory? The word directory, let's just copy that and move it down here. Directory means folder. Okay, so what the command we're saying is change folder. So where we are in this, which Finder gave us a hint earlier when we said open dot, is in the Mac's folder structure. So that's where terminal puts us when we first open it up. So when we said change directory or change folder for our first command, it changed the folder to its default folder, which is the home folder. And that's represented by this little tilde right here. So that is the symbol or the variable for the home folder in the terminal. So now we know what this entire prompt means. It's who you are, what computer you're on, and then where you are. So we are home. So that helps to explain why our first command didn't look like it did anything. It really didn't. It was already, before we even ran it, in our home folder, and then it changed directory into its default directory, which is the home folder. So it put us right back where we were in the next command. So before we jump to our next command, open period, I want you to type in one more command, and that is ls, and then hit enter. So ls stands for list, and we'll write that up here along with our other commands. So ls equals list. So what the list command does is it lists out all of the folders and documents that are in our current directory or our current folder. It tells us what is all in the folder that we're in right now. So we're in the home folder. So what we see is all of the folders that are over here. Applications, desktop, and documents are all showing up right here in our list command. Applications, desktop, documents, and it's got all the exact same folders. So that's great. We know where we are, and we know what it looks like in the GUI, the graphical user interface, or the normal way the computer looks. So now let's organize our commands real quick. We'll remove this because you guys know what a directory means now, and then we'll come down here and we'll explain our second command that we gave, which is open dot. Now, open is a special Mac command that does exactly what you saw it do. It opens whatever directory you say in Finder. It shows the graphical representation of what you're seeing in the terminal in the Finder. So the little dot you see after open is actually another symbol, a lot like this little tilde up here. And what dot means is this folder. This folder that I'm currently in right now. So the dot, meaning this folder, can be any folder that you're currently in, where the tilde always means the home folder. So the next thing we're going to want to do is move into a new folder. And the way we do that is by using our change directory command. So we want to change folder into a new folder. And since we don't have a folder for this, what we're going to do is use another command called, and we'll put it up here with change directory, is called mkdir, which stands for, I think you can probably guess, make directory. All right, so we're going to come down here and say make directory and then a space. And then we're going to give this make directory command a name that it can name our new folder. So let's name this new directory that we're going to create tutorial, since this is a tutorial, if I can spell. And then we're going to press enter, and you'll see an interesting thing when we hit enter, and it's that a new little folder is going to pop up down here for us. So now we're going to use our cd command to change directory into that new directory we just created. And then once we hit enter, we can see that our little path here is changed from the little home directory symbol to the tutorial folder. And we can type ls again, and it doesn't return anything because we haven't put anything in our new tutorial folder. So let's run the open dot command so we can see what's going on in the Finder as well as in the terminal. So our new little window will pop up here, and we can see what we're dealing with is a little empty folder. Okay, so now that we're inside our new tutorial folder, we're actually going to create a new folder inside of this one. So we'll use our command mkdir and call this new folder. And then we'll hit enter. So now you can see we've got our new folder over here in tutorial. And then we're going to cd into new folder. And then we'll do the same thing as we did before, ls, and then open dot, so we can see this in the Finder. So now I want to introduce you to another command, and that is the pwd command. And what that stands for is the present working directory. So the pwd command is just a way for us to figure out where we are in this file system. And so we'll type that pwd command in and hit enter, and what it gives back to us is this whole long line of folder names. And so this first part I just want you to ignore, because all that is the home folder. Remember how I said that was a symbol? This is what it's a symbol for, this long string. It's just easier to represent it as a tilde. And then after that, what we've got is the two folders we just created. We've got tutorial, and then we've got new folder. So this line is called a file path. And when we say we want our present working directory, what the terminal gives us back is the directory or folder that we are presently working in. So that is this folder right here, new folder. So in the terminal, all of the files have a hierarchy. And so as you can see here, our tutorial folder comes before our new folder. And in the terminal, that's called being a parent to a child folder. So in this case, tutorial is the parent folder, and new folder is the child folder. So in the terminal, when you use the pwd command, it will give you the path all the way from the home directory all the way down to where your folder is right now, whichever folder you're in. So this way, instead of using the open period command every couple minutes to tell where we are in Finder, we can just check where we are by saying, what is my present working directory? What folder am I in right now? And then it will give you this whole file path so that you know where you are. You're in the tutorial folder, and inside that, you're in new folder. So now let's introduce one more symbol, and that is going to be the ... symbol. So what the ... stands for in the terminal is the parent folder. So just how the dot represents the folder you're currently in, the ... represents the folder one above you, the parent folder of the folder that you're currently in. So if you're in new folder, the parent folder would be tutorial, and if you're in tutorial, the home folder would be your parent folder. So right now, let's use the cd command, and then we can specify the parent folder, which is ... And once we hit enter, we'll be taken back up to the tutorial folder. And if we want to, we can exit out of this Finder window, and it'll show the tutorial window. So now we can see what we're doing again. Now, to finish this tutorial off, I want to show you one more command, and that is the touch command. Now, we've learned how to create folders and navigate folders. So now I want to show you how to create a file. And the way you create a file is with the touch command. And the touch command creates a new file. So we're going to come down here back to our terminal and say touch, and we're going to call this new file.txt. We're just going to make this a text file. So once we hit enter, we'll see our new little text file pop up in the tutorial folder. So we can double click on that, and it'll pop open a little blank text file because we haven't done anything to it yet. We haven't added any text. So let's exit out of that. Now that we've created a new file and a folder in this tutorial directory, we can cd, and if you'll remember from the beginning, if we type cd with no arguments, it'll take us straight back to the home folder. So we'll hit enter, and that'll take us straight back to where we started. So as a quick review of a few things this tutorial has gone over, we've learned a little bit about the history of the terminal, why it's here, where it came from. We've learned how to create and navigate through our folder structure. We've learned how to find where we are in our folder structure with the pwd command. And we've learned how to create a file and also to list. We've also learned a couple of little symbols that are used in the terminal. Tilde for the home folder, dot for the folder I'm currently in, and ... for the parent folder of whatever folder I'm currently in. So I hope this tutorial has been helpful, and thanks for watching.